share with us what hopes they have for the youth taking forward the climate change, action for climate change. Over to you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I am Francisco Chaguan, the Alliances Coordinator of the Latin American Youth Organization 1.5. I'm with Gabriela Barría, also from 1.5, Nashi Cudelier from the Argentinian organization Sostenibilidad Sin Fronteras, Lucia Delgado from the Costa Rican Youth and Climate Change Network, and Melissa Cáceres from the organization Sustenta Honduras. We will share with you really fast, in 10 minutes, our experience and the lessons we learned in the preparation of the second regional conference of youth from Latin America and the Caribbean, with the purpose of let you all know how in Latin America the youth is making synergy with great impact on climate action. So this event is held annually during the prior months to the UNFCCC COP, and it's been endorsed by Yongo. In its 2022 version, nearly 300 people from 18 different countries participated in person, and hundreds more participated online. And the purpose of this 2022 version was to work on a document named From Protest to Proposal, which contains 20 recommendations addressed to national governments and to the global major emitters, which concretizes the demands raised by Latin American youth in its regional declaration that were made in the Regional Conference of Youth of 2021. And this document, to this date, has been signed by almost 55,000 people from the region. Yeah. In addition to the above, yeah, it's a great number. In addition to the above, this year we built a network of organizations with more than 200 institutions that includes more than 10,000 youth volunteers and activists from the region. During the months prior to the event, we did open online trainings for young people from all over the region, and we held online assemblies to discuss the content of this document. And well, now we are talking about these recommendations. There were 10 for national governments and 10 for global major emitters.
So first of all, from the 10 recommendations for national governments, I'm going to tell you about 2 of them. The first one is transport in cities. So according to the IPCC, 70% of the global greenhouse gas emissions are concentrated in urban zones. And there has been an increase in individual transportation. Therefore, we ask that by 2030, our urban development focuses on green, resilient, sustainable, and inclusive cities, and low-emission mobility and just transition. In this line, in climate empowerment, the youth is a key actor for facing climate change, and we need to ensure participation spaces for them. So we demand to recognize and replicate ancestral knowledge in Abya Yala and educational model at all levels that motivates critical Latin American thinking with an intercultural depatriarchalization and decolonization framework.
Hello everyone, my name is Melissa, and I will talk to you about the other 10 largest or 10 recommendations for the top 10 largest CO2 emitters to follow. And in the regional conference, we made 10 commitments that government should follow. And these recommendations were proposals that we as youth consider not exchangeable. And the 2 that I choose to go in deep is one that we see that is happening right now with the mechanism or the financial mechanism that is needed to follow for loss and damage. So the 2 recommendations that I choose was first, transparency in climate commitments. which means that financing and communication is vital to limiting the temperature rise to 1.5. To make this possible, as well as access to progress and build trust, Latin America needs financial support and technical and professional training to implement effective systems that involve the private sector in environmental accountability process. But for these programs to work in our country, we need to build trust. We need transparent programs, we need transparent systems that make us trust in this work and for us to implement them in our countries. And the second one is ecological and financial debt. The damage caused to the environment by the indiscriminate use of natural resources, extractivism, occupation of territories, and unfair trade by the global north is real and must be paid off. They have a historical debt and a responsibility for the accumulated historical contribution to the ecological debt and to implement an agenda articulated by the global south where payment is made directly to the affected communities, not only in cash but also in social assistance projects to increase in our countries. We need a loss and damage financial mechanism. We need them to address the historical debt in our countries and the damage that they have caused, and now the vulnerable communities are affronting each day. Is their reality, is their lives, is their communities that are in danger, and they need to pay their historical debt. That's all.
When it comes to lesson learned from the Regional Conference of Youth, we have found that this generation of activism, rather than fighting from spaces and basically seeing each other as competition, we have seen a shift in between our, like the collaboration between our organizations. We have basically working together with collaboration between these different organizations has been able, first of all, being able to amplify our message, but we are also building stronger relationships between our own organizations and finding synergies in between them, as well as finding like building stronger initiatives together, because we all have different approaches from different countries. However, being together and seeing how, for example, one organization does this specific initiative that actually works really well can actually build more knowledge and build a network that we aim to build. As well, adding to this point, there is this huge capacity for young people from Latin America and the Caribbean to develop projects with impact, with practical solutions to the challenges involving the climate crisis that are actually astounding, and if I may add, inspiring. Seeing how people in the front line are able to find a source of inspiration and to actually transform words into action and to inspire more and more young people to take action and lead in this. This is how, and to prove this, in less than 4 months, the Regional Conference of COI was able to develop, to find and to identify more than 250 projects with 10,000 young involved, as my colleague said. We also have measures and we have metrics of impact where we have trained people, where we have planted trees, and we have also the CO2 carbon emissions that were avoided. This is our history, and we are nothing strange, just maybe our Latin American vibe. But however, we do know that every single one of the regions are able to do this and are able to build this conference. So first of all, we encourage you to also see this and also see this as an opportunity to build the conference in your own region, but also to see that other experiences can be profoundly useful and can be a place of network.
So we need to change everything, right? Changing everything cannot be done by one person, cannot be done by one organization, cannot be done by one country. We need a movement. We need a really big movement and what are the elements of a movement. So you have a chart with values and actions and proposal. We have it, from protest to proposal, with more than 50,000 signatures. You need a song, something that you can feel. It is on Spotify, and in one word is regeneration, in Spanish, regeneración. You can Google for it. It was made for a Costa Rican artist, only for this movement. We have a symbol. A symbol is very clear, and it is the alliance between economic, social, and environmental aspects, because we need the three of them. We need a territory. We have it. For us, it's Latin America and also including Caribbean. Here we have a symbol. So you can have a picture if you want and make your own, because the idea is do not have a person or an organization behind. It's very simple, and it can represent the movement for climate action, especially youth. So you need a territory. It is online. There is a map, 200 organizations, 200 initiatives, and growing. What else do you need? You need leaders. Here on stage, you can find them from a lot of countries, different countries, and you are leaders too, and you're here. So the message that we want to share with you is that we have everything we need to be the movement the world needs to change everything. And if you want to be part of this movement too, we are going to invite you to sign at your signature to our declaration. And I don't know if the video is ready to play online, but if it is ready, we can have it. If not, that's okay. We don't care. And to finish, I'm going to pass the word to my colleague, Francisco. Well, there is no music, but you can imagine what the girl is trying to say to this policymaker. Try to imagine what are the elements that it is trying to express in her draw. The video normally has music, but it's okay if it's not working. There, only 1 and 15 seconds minute, so you can find it on YouTube and watch it again with all the music. And thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much for that great presentation. I'm sure everyone will appreciate the lessons you've learned from the ARCOI, and people will definitely implement it in their own regions and in their own cities. So thank you very much once again. Now we're going to move to our second